Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with using your browser to make somebody else money. Going back about 2 or 3 months ago, there was a big news story that people visiting the Pirate Bay website were finding out that the people running the Pirate Bay were using the browser of the people visiting their site in order to mine Bitcoin. There was a lot of people complaining that, hey, why is it that these people are allowed to use my computer for their gain when in fact these people were using their computer free of charge as well. Running a website is going to cost money. You've got to pay for hosting, you've got to pay for bandwidth, you've got to pay for storage. You've got to pay for the upkeep of it, you've got to pay for monitoring. People forget there are a lot of costs normally associated with running a website. These incremental costs do build up over time, and if you've got a very, very popular website, then these costs can get quite astronomical pretty quickly. As we all know, Bitcoin has been going up in value over time, and this fact hasn't escaped the people running the sites such as the Pirate Bay. So long story short, if you aren't paying for something, the chances are you are the product. Now in this case, what was happening was by you visiting the Pirate Bay, what would happen is the Pirate Bay would use your browser for the duration of your stay in order for them to get some benefit out of you visiting their site. Now this throws up an interesting problem because the idea that your computer can't run arbitrary code that was put out by a website that you're visiting, people have been saying for the longest time that that can't happen. So what was happening here was their site was using your computer to run algorithms to generate something that is of benefit to them. When you realize that was what was going on, then all of a sudden the security arguments start to look a little bit weak around the edges. Now here's the other problem. Internet version 1, people were trying to work out how do you monetize it, and the instant solution everywhere was adverts. Nearly every free service, application or website had adverts in it. That was what was paying for the infrastructure that you were utilizing. As Internet version 2 came along, people suddenly realised that advertising is not the only way to generate revenue. One of the ways this has come to fruition is with cars. There are many cars these days that can have a chip fitted to them that allows the insurance company to see how you're treating it when you drive. If you drive like a maniac, well, that's probably going to cost the insurance company money, so therefore they charge you. If you drive well, they'll give you a rebate on your premium because you're not going to cost them so much money. This is the way that the technology is working to save people or generate people extra money. What the Pirate Bay was doing was just an extension of this. It's using something that you've purchased, your computer for instance, but whilst you're using something that it's going to cost them money, they're basically mitigating that cost by using your resources. Again, if you're not paying for something, you're probably the product. It's come to light over the past couple of weeks that the Pirate Bay wasn't the only website that was doing this. There are other websites doing it, and now it's starting to become a mainstream thing. So this is something to bear in mind going forward. There is going to be a lot more of this, but it's not just in your computer or in your car that you're going to see this. It's going to be on wearable devices. So let's say for instance you go for a run, well in theory your insurance company should know that, hey, this person exercises, they're probably not going to have obesity problems like 40 or 50% of the population will. When you look at how many people are running headfirst into diabetes in the long term, you suddenly realize that there's a lot of money here that people are going to be like, hey, if you're a good boy, we're going to reward you, and if you're a bad boy, well, you're going to pay for it. I'm going to leave you with that thought for today because it's a very important thing to think about, especially given that we're all consumers of these services, and a lot of the services that we use we're not paying for. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please hit subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.